The way that Minesweeper works is you have a grid and there are mines in it. On the expert grid, which is where we are, up in the top left corner is right here is 99. There are 99 mines in this grid here. Now, the tutorial is actually going to be pretty fast, but it may take us some time to finish an expert grid. So pretty much most Minesweeper games you play, the first click is not going to kill you. The first click is going to be a blank space. So there we go. We've clicked a blank space. Now, maybe these numbers, I'll tell you what these numbers indicate, and you probably know. But these numbers indicate that in the immediate surrounding area, so in this 9-grid square, of which 1 is the middle, the surrounding 8 grids contains 1 mine. So these are all clear, which means these top 3 squares here that touch this one, there's 1. There's 1 mine here. So, for example, this 3, it is touching 3 squares, and there are 3 mines in these 3 squares. So, we can say with 100% certainty that these 3 squares are mines because of this 3 here. This 3 has to be touching 3 mines. There are only 3 squares that it's touching. Therefore, those are mines. Now, there are 3 different kinds of clicks that you need to know. So playing this on a touchscreen is a little bit different. It's a trap thing on a... That's a good... How the shit is there not it's a trap? Okay. Nope. Do you just want like the little scene that plays just like a trap and then off it goes? Remind me in 2 hours to make It's a Trap. Yep, okay. That's a great idea, Raven. Well done. Okay. Thank you. So, now, there's 3 types of clicks. There's the left click, which chooses a space. It steps on a space. Right click flags a space. Once a space is flagged, you can no longer click it. You can right click and cycle the flag on and off, but this keeps it safe. Now, so, for example, in Softy, there's a 3rd click that I'm going to tell you guys about here in a second. But now here it's ruined. That would have been perfect for this. So, for example, we know that this space is clear, 100%. We know that this space right here is clear because this 2 already is touching 2 mines. Because we flagged the ones from the 3, this 2 here, out of all the spaces around it, 1, 2, has already hit its 2 mines. So you can... Are you being... Is this actually new information, or are you just fucking with me, buddy? So we know for a fact that this space is clear. Now, this wasn't a great starting grid because there will come a time in Minesweeper, almost inevitably. You had no idea? Okay. So there comes a time in Minesweeper, almost inevitably, where you have to take a guess. And this is one of those times. So we can do our best, like we can give ourselves the best odds, right? So this 3 here. Here's the other thing you need to know. When you click both clicks at the same time, so there's left click, right click, and then both at the same time. When you do both at the same time, do you see how it creates this 9 grid here? Okay. That means if you click on this one here, both down, those, if you just want a really easy way to see what it's touching, these are the 3 squares that 1 is touching. So, archaic. There's a guaranteed safe sell. It's unobvious. So the first click in most versions of Minesweeper is guaranteed safe, but it's not 100%. But not every single version of Minesweeper has that. If you have more info, I would love to have it. So for example, this 3 here, these 3 squares contain. There's 1 mine in those 3 squares, because this 3 already has 2 mines connected to it. So there's only 1 in here. It could be this square here. And so then you kind of look at the numbers around it, and sometimes you can logic it out. Like, is it possible that there's 1 here and then 1 here? because this 1 would only be connected to that one. This 3 would still hit as 3. That's technically true. Or it could be here, and then these would be free around the 1. This one would be free. We don't know. So I'm going to, this is where I'm going to have to take a guess. I don't see anything else I think would logic out. Okay. So we have a 50-50. There's definitely one mine in either of these squares, and there's definitely one mine in either of these squares. I'm going to take another quick, educated guess, or sort of a, this is really terrible. There's normally some sort of, okay, when you failed, let's go to a new game. I'm trying to find, usually what I do is I will click a few times in a game to open up a bit of a broader, okay, so this is a little bit better. This is a little bit easier. So that double click that I was telling you about, so what I do when I see something like this is the corners are really easy. If there's a 1 on a corner, you know that these all have mines in them. So for this one here, if I use that simultaneous click on this one, it'll clear anything around it. I am not the only person playing Minesweeper right now. I was going to be certain that I was. DG Davier, thank you for the follow. I was going to be certain that I was. So like the click that I showed you where it does this, where you hit both mouse buttons at the same time, that will do a clear so long as you have the flags set. So if I do that here, it'll clear that. So I took a couple guesses here. This is sort of what a game of Minesweeper will look like when you, well, there we go. There's a little bit more, not there. So that one in the corner. And so we're using the sweep, right? Because I can tell these ones already have the allotted for flag. So you're marking flags where you know for a fact they will be. And then you use that simultaneous click to clear everything around it. So, for example, this one here at the corner dictates that there has to be a mine there. And then this one right here already has that mine accounted for. So this mine is already accounted for. So if you hit both left and right click at the same time, it'll clear everything else for you, right? So, for example, if you, this is 3, so that's the third mine. Here's a number 4. There's the 4th mine, right? Because in all the surrounding squares, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way around it. The orange cells. Interesting. Interesting. So, we will, if you guys like showed up a little late and you want me to explain something, like I said, that is more or less the tutorial, is just, you flag where you know flags to be, and then there are times where you can kind of suss out where they are. So for example, this, well, when we get to a place where we may have to take an educated guess, actually, maybe just about at that spot. So, for example, one of 3, so we have one flag next to this 2, and the other 3, there's only 1 in these 2. So you have a 66% chance of not stepping on one. However, you could do a couple things. So like, well, that one is definitely there. Some versions of Minesweeper will have a question mark. So what you can do is tag maybes, and you usually cycle through, like it goes flag, question mark, and then back to normal. And the question mark won't act as a flag, like it won't act as a definite we've flagged this, but it will allow you to play out sort of some hypotheticals in your head before you make a decision. So I don't have they don't have the question mark here. So I'm going to take a guess that if one is here, right, then that means these 2 have to be clear, and there would have to be one here. Does this make sense with the map? Yes, it does. The other thing that it could possibly be is if there's one here, does this make sense? What's up, Caldane? How's it going? So this is actually not going to work. We know there's not a flag here, and I'll tell you why. Because if this is a mine, then this too would clear this space and clear this space, which means that this one here would have to have a mine here, but that's not possible because this one here can't be connected to two mines. So there's where you can sort of play out the hypothetical. So we know for a fact there's a mine here, and we now know for a fact there can't be one here. So we can clear that. That ended up not helping us a lot, but that is one way. Okay, I appreciate that. I'm just going to keep that first one there, but I appreciate that input. Now, I don't have that same board with red cells and everything, so everything you're talking about is not going to work for this map here. But I appreciate that information. I've actually never seen the orange cell and the red cell Minesweeper map. I have seen green ones. I've seen this gray one, and then if you download like Microsoft Minesweeper, which has like achievements and shit, then Microsoft Minesweeper will have like, it's like this pretty blue, and then there's like fireworks and shit. It's very nice. It's very pretty. And I'm just gonna say they should bring back Minesweeper. So now here's another thing. You start to recognize sort of some patterns when you look at this, and not to say that it's always going to be correct. What's up, Dotus? But for example, if you have a 2 and 1's surrounding that 2, there is a reasonable whoops, I hit the wrong thing. Okay. If you have a 2 and then 1's surrounding it, then it's probably going to look like that. Because the 1 has to, like, it can't be touching multiple mines. So there we go. Oh, thank you, Dotus. Of course. So, I mean, this is basically the tutorial. If as we go, you guys have any questions, if you come late and wondering what the fuck I'm doing or how this is working or anything like that, let me know. There's going to be times where you have to take guesses. So, for example, this 4 is touching 3. So there's only one mine in this place, or this place. So we have a 66% chance of okay. So there's definitely a mine here or here. Nothing else around it seems to give anything away from what I can tell. Now, when there are 2 1s next together by the wall, my instinct, it's not 100%. It could totally be here in this corner, but my instinct is that it is here. And since we have to take a guess anyway, okay, yeah, I was right. If I have to take a guess, that looked somewhat similar. So these are all mines because there's only 4 spaces touching this 4. And we will go back to KOTOR today, either after we finished an expert map, or we get so sick of doing what we're doing that we flip back to KOTOR anyway. Dotus, how's your day going? How's everybody's day going? Da 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 da. Yeah, we have 50-50 in the bottom right, and so this is going to force our hand. What I used to do, the way I used to do it, was I would clear everything else out and then come over here and then make a guess. But like, go ahead and make the guess. And we don't have any idea, anything that we know nothing about these, so our best chance is taking a 50-50 shot at this here. Hey, there it is. So we cleared that. What's up, Asterial? You've almost fallen asleep at work twice. Jedi, why is that? What's the scoop? What's the scoop, buddy? Hold on a second, guys. I want to try to check something real quick. Hold on. Da-da-da. Oh, I see. So, I was checking Archaic's information here. So you mentioned the orange contained one mine. The red cell is mine. The name 2 is one mine. The name 1 other mine can only go in the red cell. So, yeah, let me see if I can show that to you. So, well, it's cropped weird because I have the, but basically, underneath these orange blocks here, there is there's a 2, a 1, a 2, and a 2. And so given that number layout, we know for a fact that there's going to be 1 there. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of like sort of logic-y stuff that you guys, like as you play, you'll sort of recognize a few patterns. You'll recognize a few things. What's up, Ouija? And Asterial, I'm fantastic. Oh, coffee's not strong enough. I hear you on that. This camera is still a C920. I just have the filters and the white balance and everything set up just right. And getting them just right after a computer restart is always a bit dodgy. But thank you, Caldane. Okay, so here's one we can figure out. So there are 2 mines connected to this 3, which means one of the 2 boxes being depressed right now has to have a mine in it, which means that this number 2 here, the mine is already accounted for in one of these 2 boxes. We don't know which one of these 2 it is yet, but since we know that it is in one of these 2 boxes, we can clear this one and we can clear this one. What else? So when I have 2 1s next to each other, I feel like it's the inner one. Again, this is never like, that's not like scientific or anything. That's just like a pattern I tend to see in this game. Let's see if there's anything else we can clear out around here or figure out. It's a double click. So right click makes the flag. Left click will step on the cell. And if you click both down at the same time, it will show you all surrounding ones. And if all those flags are accounted for, it will clear that. So like this isn't clearing anything, but if I put the 4th flag here and then do that same double mouse press, it will clear that because it's assumed you've flagged all 4 and will clear everything around it. Now, we don't know for a fact that one's a flag, but let's see if I can open up something else around here. And get a little bit nicer starting map to work with. That was okay, actually. Okay, this one's pretty good. So when I'm like playing Minesweeper, a lot of times what I'll do is, like I said, I start with corners. I start clearing out the ones that I know for a fact. So there's one there. The 2 has already got its mine accounted for. There's the mine. Here's 1. 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We know those are all mines around that 6 there. I will usually sort of click through like the corners first, like I mentioned earlier, because these are easy to see. The ones in the corner. Be careful, like when you have numbers adjacent to each other and stuff, because sometimes my brain will trick me and I'm like, oh, that's a corner. Oh, wait, no, hold on, it's not. But we do know that this 3 mines are in all 3 of these spaces. And there we go. If I click a number and my flags are right, and I only see one mine or one square depress when I do that simultaneous click, then that is my cue that there's a flag or a mine there. So the 2, there's the doubles there. And so this 3 is 1, 2, 3. Is the only ones it's touching. We do not know. So this is a 5. One of these 2 has a mine. We don't know which one. And we will roll through this area. This seems to be pretty self-explanatory. But, like, a lot of people either didn't know, like, when playing Minesweeper, they didn't know one of two things. They either didn't know what the number meant, or they didn't realize that there were different clicks you could do other than just the one. Because doing the sweep makes this game, like, clearable. It is very, very difficult to do this one at a time, where you go, okay, so this 2 is touching this one, so there's a flag, and so you do a single click here, and then there's that, and then there's the single click. This one's touching one, so there's that. So, like, oh, yeah, this one is already touching this one, so that means this one's clear, and this one's clear. That's fucking tedious as shit. That's what you were doing, Kaldane? So, yeah, right, yeah. There is, with, like, touchscreen, I noticed that there were a few, oh, shit, I accidentally hit that. That would have been a mistake. I downloaded a quick Minesweeper to see what it was like on touchscreens. Like, if you're playing it on your phone, it's the best way. My recommendation is to play it with a mouse, like a traditional mouse, you know, or trackball or whatever. Doing it a touchscreen on your phone, you can still do it. It still gives you the tools, but there's like an extra step because you have to choose. Like, you'll choose a square and it'll ask you if you want to dig or want to use a flag. And so it's just it's not bad. It's not terrible. If you really want to play Minesweeper on your phone, it works okay. But the that extra step, I'm so used to. It feels like when you play a game with like a controller or something, and then you switch it up. It's like, oh, these extra steps. So I think we're going to be able to have gotten this half. All right, that half is done. So let's come over here and work on the second half. This is looking promising. So far, so good. And sometimes you'll miscount, and sometimes you'll be like, wait, I knew there was one there, and you were wrong, and it's because maybe there was an adjoining square that you didn't really take account. So, like, sometimes my brain will be like, oh, this one here, there's the corner. It's naturally this one here. I would, like, that's the flag. But I have failed to see that it's already connected that one there. Whoops. Gotta be careful. So that is also what you want to watch out for. And like I said, some of the like the patterns, like if you see a number 4, like I know, so you know what like the 4s look like. So if you see a 4, it gets faster. You sort of build up a. Oh shit! That's a wall of mines. What, 3, 4, 5, 6? Okay, there we go. So this is a 50-50 shot. We don't necessarily have to make this decision yet, because we may be able to do something to come around from this way, but it's possible we may end up having to do that. So for example, this 2 here, we know there's a mine in one of these 2 spots. We don't know which one it is, but because the 1 above the 2 is associated with both of these spots, that means we know for a fact that we can clear this spot. And we are getting down to guess time. On High School Visuals, hack the high score file. Just give myself 1 second wins. That was your own personal Kobayashi Maru. Well, God damn it. Technically, he beat us. Give him a diploma. I learned this in high school, too. In C++ class, in the early days, in the year 1998 or 1999, I was taking C++, and C++ like made sense to me back then. I don't think I remember fuck any of it now, but it made sense to me back then. And so we would get an assignment for that 45 minutes, and I would do it in 10 minutes, and then spend the rest of the time playing Minesweeper. That's the shit I'm talking about. Because apparently you couldn't delete this shit off the computers, or maybe the administration didn't bother trying. Okay, so there is one, and so this is sort of a backwards. This is, follow me here. So this 2 here that I'm pressing is already associated with a mine we know to be here. So that means there is only one mine in one of these two spots. Okay? So that means one of these also has to be empty. So what that means is we have 1, 2. This has to be a mine here. Did that make sense? Because this has to be a mine because one of these has to be empty. So if there's only one mine in these 2 spaces, this number 4 still has to hit 4 mines. So it would be 1, 2, 3, and then one of these 2 possibilities. But what that did was it filled out our 5 up here. So now this 5 is connected to all 5 mines, so we can clear that. We can clear that. And now we can move along. I hope that made sense, made logical sense. So that helps us. Man, it's expert Minesweeper is tough. C++ is the hardest language in modern languages, modern usable languages, because he's was old as shit. I made for Mother's Day in like I said, like right before the turn of the century. I made a text-based game for my mom for Mother's Day, where you explored the dungeon for the eventual like Happy Mother's Day language. Okay, so let me see if there's anything we can suss out here, or at least give ourselves the best like percentage. So we have a 2 in 3 chance. There's 1 in 3. One of these boxes has mine in it. So there's a 2 in 3 chance that we could make a good decision. There is 1 mine associated with this 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. So that may be our best guess to guess around here. This one is a 2 and 3 to get right. So this is okay, we're going to choose from this set of boxes here, because there's only 1 mine in all 5 of these boxes, so we have an 80% chance to not die on the next click. Okay. So you can play the percentages. So there is definitely a mine here in one of those. Okay, there's definitely one there. So there is 1 mine here, but not in both of those. There is 1 mine here, but not in both of those. I mean, it's a guess, but I kind of guess this one. It fulfills the 2, it fulfills the 1, it fulfills the 3, it fulfills the 3. But it is a guess. This isn't completely like... But can I be sure on this one here? The one that I just flagged? Because this one, I wish I had the question mark. Because it can't be the 3rd from the right over here. Right. It has to be in one of these 2. So we can hit this. Because there has to be one here in which that 1 is already associated with. Right. So it could be... it could have helped. But it could have helped. So it could be here. We could have 1 here and 1 here. Or we could have 1 here and 1 here. And there's no way for me to know that without more information from over here, which I may have to guess to get at. Now, There are 2 in 4 here, so that's a 50-50 shot. This is a 50-50 shot. This is 50-50. This is 50-50. This over here is where you're wanting me to guess. The one below the 3. Not this one. Over here. Okay, so, right. There is a 66% chance that we'll not kill ourselves by choosing one of these. And I feel like... Oh, well, no, nothing is... Okay, so we're just going to take a chance because there's a 66% chance we're not going to kill ourselves. But do we want to choose... Oh, I'm so torn. Okay. Damn it. So yeah, a lot of times what I'll do is... I mean, that's okay. That's a little favorable. And sometimes you get, really... If you find yourself getting emotionally attached to your Minesweeper board, feel free to take a break. If you find yourself getting upset, like you want to, and take it out on Windows, it's still, yeah, that was some unluckiness. But that's I want to know what the other Minesweeper streams are doing. Like, is someone just going nuts? Like, all right, come on, let's go. Look for those mines. Oh shit, we got it there. Look at that, good shot, guys. Some more points in luck. Luck is a useless stat. What's up, game guy? Better. They're doing better than I. I will say that I feel like if you go to Google and you type in Minesweeper, and you can just hey, do you want to play Minesweeper from your browser? And you're like, sure. I feel like that one is a little bit easier, even though the grid is the same size, the same number of mines. I don't know why. It just feels like a little bit nicer. But this version is the one that I sort of grew up on. And so I wanted to do... Nope. Don't take that away from me. Comparing a Hearthstone streamer will sometimes play Minecraft on stream, and it is just about speedrunning the game. Holy shit. I could probably train. I think I would have the patience to train for Minesweeper, noticing visual patterns, knowing instinctually maybe what's likely or unlikely to be, being able to... I mean, right now I sort of feel like my mouse is a little laggy. Oh, so my mouse is not actually laggy. It's just I'm using my OBS monitor because I was able to make it bigger. Anyway, so just played Minesweeper on the computer, but you always sucked. Old school gamer. There is some... Aha. See, that was helpful. It just takes practice, and so when you have a straight line in threes, with nothing else touching it, then that's a wall of mines. Is eventually not the primary method, right? Yeah, you can eventually. So you start by sussing out sort of what we've been doing is oh, you can let's look through this, let's logic this out, and then eventually you will just be oh, I know what the threes look like. I know what the twos look like. I know when it's 3-3-2. This is what this looks like. And off you pop. And it almost is like a muscle memory. But you have to be careful, because sometimes I will think I see a pattern and miss the pattern, or miscount when I'm doing like, okay, so that sucks. Chances are that's, yep. So there's definitely one there. So that opens that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, cool. We should be able to complete this. And this is as close as we've been today. What's up, Rain? What the heck is this nerd crud? What's up, dude? What's happening? Okay, so that's going to be a high probability guess. Oh, hold on. We actually have all 4 over here. So let's see. Where is our... Okay, let's try some pattern recognition. Okay, so Loop Hero at lunch today. What's Loop Hero? Tell me about the Loop Hero. You're going to be gone for a year in it playing a game called Loop Hero? Or am I misunderstanding something? Okay, let me think here. So, there is... This pattern is probably easily recognizable to someone who is an expert Minesweeper player. Tala Taylor, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. I'll spoil the ending of Minesweeper if I damn well want. Yeah, our Knights of the Old Republic, I wasn't sure how long... if we had gone into Knights of the Old Republic like 15 minutes later, I wasn't going to turn off Nightbot, but here we are. Okay, so there's one mine in this 3. I kept it. There's one mine in this 3, one mine in this 3. And I feel like I should be able to suss that out. But if it's there... Oh, okay, hold on. I see something. There can't be a mine here. There can't be a mine in this one because if that were the case, then right and top right would have to clear, which means there would have to be a mine here. And given that 3, the red 3, that would dictate a mine here. And that would put 3 mines where this 2 is. So we know for a fact that this has to be open. Okay. So there has to be a mine in one of these 2. So we know that there's not one here. So we can open this up. We can use that one with a 3, and we can progress. That's right. We're just going to put a happy little mine right there. And we're just going to, do our best to keep the lands safe for people who are, walking and experiencing. And by not likely, I mean assuredly there is one. Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. I know you well enough to know what you meant. This is very frustrating. There are 8 mines left in this field. Okay, so let's look at this. So there has to be one, but only one in here. So that means one of those has to be blank, but this one could be blank as well, because we could have a mine here to satisfy the 3, and we could have a mine here and satisfy both 2s. So figure out the likelihood of a mine in a random cell in the open field. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 4 is 24, 26, 7, 28, 29, 30, 31. 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Plus 12 is 48. So 8 out of 48 is 4 out of 24, 2 out of 12, is 1 out of 6. So 1 in 6 spaces here is a mine. So there is a 18, 17, 16% chance of death if I click one random spot in this field here. Something like that. So it's pretty good. That is overwhelmingly that I should survive if I click something in this open field away from the numbers. So aha, that's helpful. That may have won it for us. Now, I don't want to speak too soon because we may have to take a guess as we get down there. Yeah, yes. Yes, Caldane. That was very, 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 very smart. Is that what you wanted to hear, Caldane? That was smart. I think we got this one, kids. Let's go! Yeah! We finished a fucking expert Minesweeper on stream today. Look at that.